Welcome to You Can Be ABCs, a podcast where we learn about careers and have a little fun along the way. I'm Sam.
And I'm Bobby. Listen, we are happy to be here. We're actually really cool episode today. We have a really special guest, man. This is so exciting. Sam, we're gonna let you do the introduction and we'll jump right on in. Come on, take it away.
Okay, our guest today is someone that I know well. He loves sports jerseys and sneakers, like really, a big-time sneakerhead. He's also a sports fan that used to play baseball and football. And if you're around him just for a little bit, he'll tell you how great he was at both of them. He's here with us today because he's really smart and he works with computers. But I have no idea what type of things he does with them. So let's find out together. Please welcome my Uncle Bunky.
Yay,
Oh, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, Sam, let's go.
Okay, so first question. What do you do for a living?
Well, that's it's changed over the last year. Uh, but what I've been doing for most of my career is I've been in information technology, and so I have went from the I've moved from the part of doing programming computers to then creating networks for companies to and did auditing their data centers that they have their computers stored in. So I've been doing that for about 20 plus 25 years. Uh, but just recently I changed roles, and but that's a little bit more complex. In a new role as the ESG reporting director, I help make sure that our company is doing the right thing for people, the planet, and our business. So what that really means is we try to take care of the earth. We make sure we treat people fairly, and it's about doing things in the right way for the right reasons all the time.
So, one question before we go on. Where'd you get the nickname Bunky?
It's, I assume it's an interesting story. When I was young, I was very active young boy. Um, Very restless. Didn't sleep well. My brother and I had a bunk bed. Of course, he was older, so I always had to sleep on the top bunk. And in the middle of the night, I would spin out in my sleep and hit the floor.
That's why they
And
invented guardrails, I guess.
no, we didn't have all those safety precautions back then, Sam. And I fell out one night. I hit my nose on the floor and it almost broke it, but it swelled up really big. My dad started calling me Bozo for like the next few days. My mom didn't really like him calling me that. And so the next iteration of that was Bunky. It came from me just falling out of the bunk beds in the middle of the night. Stuck with me for the rest of my life.
Now, let me do this because we heard a term a little earlier. It was ESG. So
Yeah,
ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance.
that's
It's a
correct.
framework used to evaluate a company's sustainability and ethical impact, influencing
Absolutely.
investment decisions and corporate strategies.
Right.
ESG.
So
Just want to let everybody know that's
that's
not like a R&B soul group. You know ESG. You know they seen her old Gerald Levert songs, boy. They do a cover of the OJs. ESG is environmental, social, and governance. All right, you got
I'll
that?
break it down just a little bit more. So in the
Yeah, come on with
environmental
it.
space is really what we do to take care of the earth. So I help the company track things like how much energy or water we use, or how much waste we make. So in the social space, I make sure we treat people fairly, like keeping employees safe, being kind to our communities, and making sure that everyone feels included. And in the governance space, it's really about, like I said earlier, about doing things in the right way, like following the rules, that we have to be honest and we have to follow these legal requirements around these things. So that's just making smart decisions about doing that. So those are the three things they break down into. I collect facts and write reports to show how well we're doing and where we need to improve.
That kind of sounds like an environmental worker that just works with like computers and stuff.
Well, computers was a part of it. Part of this, the in this space that we have to do is collect a whole lot of data. So there's still a computer component to it. We have some huge databases that we collect all of this information around air and water and waste, and so there's a lot of data crunching, so to speak. So I still that background in computers still served me well in this role.
And one more thing, ESG is not the thing that comes in, what is it, monosodium glutamate or whatever that is, that Chinese food or ethnic dishes to flavor punch. That's
Yeah,
not that's MSG, not ESG.
You
So
made that very
no,
clear.
I just want anybody to get mixed up, Doc. You know, the ESG, that sounds like there was a group some years ago, was it Johnny Gill and
LSG.
Keish, LSG. Hey, it is LSG. I
Yeah.
told you. I knew it sounded, but you don't know nothing about that, boy. They could croon back in the day, boy. They could croon. LSG,
Gerald Levert
LSG. Gerald Levert, Key Sweat,
and
and
Johnny Gill.
Johnny Gill. There it is. Well, come up with something, Doc. It's not MSG. It's not LSG. It's
It's
ESG. Thank you, sir.
ESG.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. They don't know nothing about that boy. That good music.
That's funny.
Okay. Okay. Well, next question, I guess. So, how'd you get into working in like the robotic field?
So I started off, actually, my first love in college was psychology, believe it or not. And I think that served me well. I'll get to that later. But um, I was trying to decide if I wanted to keep going into school all the way to get a doctorate in psychology. And at the time, I was deciding whether or not I wanted to go that far in school or not. I decided I wanted to get into a field where I could make or get a job right out of college after a 4 year degree. And so I changed my major to computer science. So I learned how to program computers. I learned how to build motherboards. I learned how about memory. I learned about networking computers. And so it was just a natural transition that once I graduated from college, that was my first job that I took on.
So, what was like your first position that you had when you started like working in it?
Yeah, I actually started off. I started off as a contractor, and I was working programming for the United States Postal Service. So that was a job where it was on a mainframe program, mainframe programming, which preceded all of this other stuff that you see out there today, like Visual Basic and C Sharp, C++, and all of the things that they doing with AI today, old school stuff. And so
Mhm.
I helped develop a program there that would add a +4 code to zip code locations of where houses were located. So it would help the postal carriers identify the exact side of the street the house was on.
Mm. Yeah, man. You see that today. Yeah, man. I
Yeah,
didn't know
that,
that.
that
Funny
zip
biz.
+4 code is still in existence. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, we're supposed to have. I should know it. I don't know it, but yeah, that's learned something new today.
Maybe you should make a program like that for Uber Eats drivers. They're always getting lost.
Well, they can use those same four codes. Mhm.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Well, I tell you this. I mean, I'll say this about the Uber Eats guys. I just want to shout them out. And I don't know what they put in their cars because the stuff they bring may be a pizza one day, maybe something fried the next day. I don't know what kind of I think we should do something to help them get rid of smells in cars. Somebody will come up with something. I think that'd be a good idea. Science all, the little things. I think they need to come up with a
Or maybe a new inventive idea.
what?
Air freshener.
Oh yeah.
Amazing
uh,
idea.
That boy's a genius.
he's, we knew that. We knew that from the
Brilliant,
start.
brilliant. Never heard of such. I'll do next question, boy.
So I know that you used to travel a lot for your job. Besides just eating and posting about exotic foods, what did you exactly do?
uh, when I was in the programming field, it was more about we had data centers located all over the world. And so that means they may be in Europe. Um, they were in the UK. And so, as part of my job back then, it was really going to make sure that those data centers were operating like they should be. And they had controls where they could control access, they can control the temperature in those data centers, and they can have a log of who entered and exited the building and things like that to make sure that the data was kept secure. So today, when I'm traveling, it's more about talking to companies about what they're doing in the sustainability space. What are they doing and how they're collecting numbers around water usage and how they're collecting numbers around greenhouse gas usage and emissions and just kind of just really kind of just talking to them about what they're doing in this space so we can learn from one another.
Yeah, so data centers, I've kind of learned a lot more. Could you talk a little bit about real simple term? It's a center for data. Ooh,
Yeah,
but like,
yeah,
what is it? And then you talk about water usage. Like,
yeah.
talk about that a little bit because I may not be making the connection
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, so computers, the motherboard in computers, the CPU, the central processing unit in particular, gets very, very warm. So you have to have a way to cool it. So data centers are designed in a way that you can store multiple servers, which have multiple CPUs in each one of them, but thousands of them in one building. And so you have to make sure that it's properly cooled and properly ventilated so that you can protect the information. The information becomes very, very important. It's the what companies use today to run their business. Like most companies cannot survive without this data anymore. It's kind of like the flagship of what companies do today. And so you need to make sure that wherever you're storing that data, whether it be on a server or whether it be on a hard disk device, a disk drive device that also gets extremely warm. There are fans built into those servers that help keep them cool, but also the air conditioning system in that facility is majorly important to try to keep those devices cool so that they can stay up and running. You want them running 99.9% of the time. Like you don't want any downtime. And so you have to make sure that you have the proper things in place to make sure that they're cooled appropriately so they still will run effectively.
Thanks.
So, when you cool down the computers, how do they get hot? Is it because they're running so much processing through them that they overheat?
That's exactly it. It's so much processing power that's coming through that motherboard, the ones and zeros that it's shooting through there at a very high rate of speed that it makes sense of through the central processing unit. It's just a lot of number crunching, and it causes that CPU to get very, very warm. And so it is essential that you have to keep it cool, or it'll essentially shut it down.
PlayStation we play gets hot, you know. Yeah.
Absolutely. It happened to mine.
Yeah.
We had to replace the fan in it, Tyler and I.
Oh, wow. It's tough. All right, what you got, Sam?
Okay. Next question. In your opinion, what's the most important personality trait you need to work where you work?
Or to work in
Well,
the field, or in the field like you're in, generally speaking, like
yeah, it's I think it's I think one of the reasons they hired me for the role is that I've been very good at my in my career of getting people who don't work for me to help me. So it's really leading with influence. In a lot of these spaces, I'm working with the legal team, I'm working with sustainability team, I'm working with compliance, which are additional attorneys, and I'm working with our government relations team, but none of them work for me. And
Mm.
I have some objectives that I have to get done for compliance reasons for the company. And so the biggest thing that's helped me, I think, over my career is when I mentioned that psychology stuff that was my first love. I think it served me well that I really understand how to meet people where they are. I can build trust with people quickly, and I can also sell my idea in order to get and tell them how it benefits them in order to get them to help me. So it's leadership by influence is one of the skills that I have. I think that has served me well in both spaces, both in IT and in the new role.
Uh, I want to say something about that, Bunky, cause again, man, it's like Sam. There was this old saying, um, "It's not your aptitude, like how smart you are. It's not your aptitude, but your attitude that
Attitude,
determines your altitude, right?"
absolutely.
And I got to tell you, man, like with what Bunky's talking about, nobody want to work with nobody mean. Nobody want to work with somebody mean. Nobody want. Listen, I don't listen. It's so important because man, you come trying to work with someone with a funky attitude, a
Yep, yep,
bad spirit, and they
yep,
understand I don't report to you, or they don't.
yep,
It's just been my experience, and Bunky's seen it at a much different level. That you got to have somebody that has that skill set of being able to work with people having a great attitude. Uh,
yep,
that it was a scripture in the Bible about in him was found an excellent spirit, the excellent spirit. So there's some spaces and places if you want to do it and go, you got to have an excellent spirit to be able to like work with people, to be
absolutely.
graced to be able to work with
Yep,
people. Now, there's a
yep,
whole, Sam, I can tell you right now, and Bunky can tell you too. There's a whole lot of people, a whole lot smarter than me,
and me too,
and your
and
uncle
me
too,
too.
man.
Yeah,
But bro, it's like one of those things where don't nobody want to deal with them because they act like they know everything, and
yep,
I
yep,
mean, or they're hard to get along with, or they're
yep.
arrogant and all that. So that whole thing about being able to work with people, that comes kind of from the inside, man. It's like
Yeah,
a
it's a
thing that
skill. It's a
it's
skill,
a
man.
skill,
I,
and,
I,
and, it,
I teach my
and it's
team
one that
about it.
sometimes we've devalued over the years. I'm not gonna tell you no story,
Absolutely.
Bucky, but
Yep,
especially folks that look like we've devalued
yep,
how important that is in
absolutely.
spaces like where you are.
I even did it. I did it myself.
Yeah.
One of the things I teach my team is um, we talk about this thing called the trust formula.
Mm-hmm.
So building trust among people is a skill as well. And so the trust
Yep.
formula is authenticity plus vulnerability
Mm-hmm.
times credibility.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you notice the times credibility is a multiplier, but you got to
Mm-hmm.
be authentic.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be you have to be vulnerable at some point to say, look, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can tell me something, and then you have to be credible. When you do all three of those things,
Mm-hmm.
then you get people to come to your side. You get people to want to work with you, not just have to work with you, but want to.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, I love that. Lesson in life, boy. I ain't gonna tell you no story. That's a good one right there, man. All right, go ahead, brother.
Okay, another question. If you weren't working in the robotics field, where would you work? Like, what would you do?
Man, I probably made a few. Um, it's a few things that I love. It's sports, and the other is music. And even though I never played an instrument, I always dabbled with music. I dabbled um, with drum machines and keyboards and making beats and music. And I still love music to this day. If I could go back, I would probably take on some more artistic stuff in the music field, or I would focus more on really doing what I really needed to do in order to make professional athlete. I just short of it, but that's the way life goes sometimes. But it'd probably be one of those two spaces I'd be in today, either coaching somehow or educating in the sports arena or doing some type of music production.
That's great.
I'd want to play the flute. I don't know why. I just like the flute.
You like the flute?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh
Doc.
yeah, yeah. Those those good instruments. Your auntie and your father used to both play the saxophone.
Tenor sax, man. You want to play the flute?
Why
Yeah,
not?
man. You listen. You go ground. Listen. You're a barrier breaker, brother.
And your cousin Tyler used to play the trumpet.
Yeah, Doc. Yeah, get you a piccolo. I'm gonna get you a piccolo. Who called my piccolo player?
Not the piccolo.
Yeah, get you a piccolo, Doc. You're a piccolo player, Doc. You
You
carry that
gonna
junk in your
stand
back
down with
pocket.
that, son.
Yeah, man.
What's the name of like those really long flutes?
I don't know. I know what you're talking about. Hey, this is a true story. I'm gonna leave it alone. So we had a church service. It was Easter Sunday when I was at Morehouse, and we went. Keith home, man. We went to church. So we go to church, and they had this instrumentalist who was gonna come and play, and I'm gonna make up a name. And he's just played around though. He was giving a big introduction. This is Easter service, right? So we thinking
Mhm.
about and he's played around the world, and we just love him so much. He's recorded here, and he's been there. He's traveled the world, and he's come back here to Atlanta to gift us with his blessing of instruments. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all put your hands together for Sam White. So the brother comes up, oh yeah. So we just thinking, he walks up, and we're thinking like, where's his trumpet or saxophone? Straight up pull a piccolo out the inside of his coat pocket.
Uh,
Wore it out too, Doc.
wow, that is amazing. Now in the South, I would have thought it probably would have been a harmonica.
Some, yeah, right. He pulled out a piccolo and wore it out. Keep it tell you I'm telling the truth. Pulled out. Wore it out, Doc. But I digress. So yeah, Doc, we may get you a piccolo in honor of that brother, whoever his name is. We'll get you a piccolo, Doc. Let you start to practice. Start on a
That's
bazooka
funny.
and work your way up to a piccolo. All right.
A bazooka?
What you call it? You blow it in, not a bazooka. That's the gum. Kazoo. What you call those things?
Yeah,
You blow the funny.
yeah,
I can't think of the name of it. But anyway,
yeah. I think it's a kazoo, right?
I think that may be the name. I can't think
Yeah.
of it. I'm up here thinking about the gum. But anyway. Well, Bunky Beasley, listen, we appreciate the time spent today. Appreciate all that you do. This has absolutely been a great time. And again, it's not LSG. It's not MSG.
We know it's ESG.
It's ESG, my
ESG.
friend. It's not Madison Square Garden or monosodium glutamate.
ESG.
It's not Gerald Levert,
We
Keith Sweat,
get
or
it.
Johnny Gill.
It's ESG. We get it.
My. You don't know nothing about that, boy. You don't know nothing about that, boy. Before your time.
We get it. It's
ESG.
ESG.
We already know what the name of the episode is. But listen, this has been You Can Be ABCs, a podcast where we learn about careers and have a little fun doing it. I'm Bobby.
I'm Sam.
We'll see you next time. Appreciate you.